5 is upon us. Some teams are going to lose. Some teams are going to win. Some teams will tie. But I'm going to give you my picks. What is up, football fans? Miami Dolphins play Sunday at 1 o'clock, so you're not going to get a recap of what happened Sunday. Unless you guys really like it, then I'll still do it Sunday night. Let me know. Comment below. Be like, hey, I still like you recapping Sundays. And I'll just do it Sunday night. I'll just have a crazy jam-packed day for you guys. But I'm giving you my picks for the day. We are going to use Sleeper, and I will show you how I did last week in my pick'ems and all that stuff. But real quick, I do have to shout out Sleeper because they just hit me up yesterday, and they were like, Doug, on top of them getting 100% up to $100, they also get a free $20 entry. Click the link in the description. Get yourself a free $20 entry. These guys are amazing. Literally, I'm going to show you right now. You see it right there. You see it? You see it right there? It says first time play on us. Free entry for free today. Right there. If I boop on it, I don't know what happened, but go get yourself a free entry. Click the link in the description. So we're over here. We're going in the Pick'em League. I'll show you how I did last week. 10-6. Some of them that were surprising to me was Washington and obviously the Chargers, San Francisco, Green Bay, even Baltimore. Not Baltimore, not so much, but definitely Green Bay, definitely San Fran, definitely the Chargers, and definitely Washington. If those 4 teams would have won, I would have then again gone 14-2. But alas, I didn't. I stunk. I sucked it up. Buttercup. I did absolutely horrible. So we are going to go into this. We're going to make our picks for tonight. I don't know why. It is, oh, I went over one. I'm like, why is it showing Thursday? But this is how the app works. It's fantastic. Again, click the link in the description. We're going to start with tonight's game, which is San Fran heading over to LA. LA is giving 6.5. Now, I showed you San Fran lost to the Chargers. Did not play well. That offensive line played like crap. I'm going with the Rams. I really like the way the Rams are playing. I really like the way Stafford's playing. That 6.5, though, I would actually take San Fran with the 6.5. I think it's going to be about a field goal win on that one. But very, very interesting there. I'm going to stick with the Rams. Probably come back and bite me in the tuchus. Then we have a Sunday morning. Now, I think the Vikings are staying because I think they are playing in London for this one, but it's Minnesota versus Chicago. And Chicago, it's Cleveland, Doug. Come on, man. And Minnesota is taking on the rookie, Dylan Gabriel. Boop. As somebody who has had Brian Flores as their head coach of their team, I know for a fact Brian Flores likes to destroy rookie quarterbacks, whether it's their opponents or whether it's his own quarterback. So I am going with the Minnesota Vikings, even with a 3.5 there. Then we have the Houston Texans taking on the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. What's going on with my hand? Boom! I'm going with the Houston Texans. Why is that? Is because Lamar Jackson is probably going to be out 2 to 3 games, they're saying, with a hamstring injury. And I like him. Obviously, I like the Houston Texans, even though their offensive line isn't great. But the Baltimore Ravens defense isn't playing great. And Cooper Rush, I think he's going to get sacked a little bit. I'm going with the Houston Texans in this one, and it's only a 1.5. Then we have the Miami Dolphins heading to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Dolphins are getting a 1.5. Finally coming off of a victory on Monday night on a short week, beating the New York Jets. I will tell you my predictions for that game and who I am picking tomorrow in my preview for that game. Then we have the Raiders taking on the Indianapolis Colts. The Raiders are just 1-3, not great. The Indianapolis Colts, they lost to the Rams because, again, I predicted it last week. The Rams are just a very good team, and I thought at one point the Colts would get caught up. I'm going with the Colts in this one. I don't know what's going on with the Raiders. I don't know what's going on with Geno Smith. Not good. 6.5, though. I think the Raiders will do some things, and it's definitely a game of tight end versus tight end. You got two very good tight ends, in Warren and Bowers. Yes, that is their name. But I like the Colts a little bit better, and I like the Colts defensive front, and I think Geno Smith is going to suck. Yet again. Then we have the Giants taking on the Saints. The Saints are a 1.5 point underdog. So there you go, Giants. Get yourself going. I do like the way Jackson Dart played. I think they're going to be very happy. They're going to be hot to trot. No, Saints are giving 1.5. My apologies on that one. Saints are giving 1.5, which is surprising in itself. Again, it opened with the Giants giving 2.5. I don't know why it flipped to the Saints. Oh, probably because Malik Neighbors is done for the season. I still like the New York Giants. I still like Cam Scatterbo. I still like Jackson Dart. And I still like the way that Giants defense played. If they could beat the Chargers, they better beat the Saints. I'm going with the New York Giants in this one. Speaking of New York teams, you have the Dallas Cowboys who come off a tie, taking on the Jets, who beat the crap out of themselves. But also, let's not take away from the 3 turnovers that the Miami Dolphins forced, and as well as the great game played by Darren Waller, who hasn't played football in like a year and a half, and the pocket presence from Tua. Like, obviously the Jets suck, but let's not negate that. Obviously, I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys, who are 1-2-1, as you can see on the app, tying the Green Bay Packers. I think CeeDee Lamb might be back. And again, what are the Jets? Where are the Jets mentally right now? How is Justin Fields feeling? Aaron Glenn, does he have his team still in the right mindset? I think it was Breece Hall who said you shoot yourself in the foot and then you end up shooting yourself in the head. Like, they just sound really morbid. I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys in that one. Then we have the Denver Broncos taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia given 3.5. Denver Broncos coming off of a nice shellacking on Monday night, the second Monday night game, versus the Cincinnati Bengals. It opened with the Eagles at 5.5. Now it's down to 3.5. I'm going with Philly. They threw that little wrinkle. That little wrinkle in the tush push where they gave it to Saquon. So it's going to be interesting how that plays out. But I do like Philly. They are the better team, and they are home. You got to go from the West Coast to the East Coast for Denver, West Coast-ish. So I'm going with Philadelphia Eagles in that one. Then we have the Tennessee Titans taking on the Arizona Cardinals. This is a 4:00 game. It's in Arizona, again, West Coast. Arizona's given 7.5. I feel horrible about Cam Ward, but on the flip side, that's what happens when you're a first overall pick. You're going to go to a team that is not good. Now, there's certain situations for certain teams that if they get the number 1 overall pick, or they're picking top and they already have their quarterback, these quarterbacks are going to fall in the draft. Now, I'm going with Arizona. I like the way they're playing a little bit better, and obviously Tennessee is just rough beyond measure. That 7.5, though, I think Tennessee will give them some fight, but I do like Arizona in that one. Then we have Tampa Bay taking on Seattle. This is an interesting one. Now, Tampa Bay is getting 3.5 from Seattle because Seattle is playing home. Again, Tampa Bay is having to go from the East Coast to the West Coast. Seattle is very hot and cold. There's games where they dominate, and then there's games that they don't, and then it all depends. Whereas Tampa Bay, they put up a fight against Philly, but obviously ended up losing. I'm gonna go Tampa in this one. I like the way Baker Mayfield is playing. So you got Detroit Lions giving 10.5 to Cincinnati. I'm sorry. This is what happens if you're wondering. If you click on it, kind of gives you the over-under, who's the starting quarterbacks, who's the running backs, all that stuff. I need Gibbs to not, for fantasy-wise, to not be getting the points. I'm just tapping on things now. Now I'm just going to show you around. There we go. I'm going with Detroit. They're the better team. Cincinnati sucks. Cincinnati is probably going to finish the season 2-15. It's just, they're not the same team without Joe Burrow in there. Then we have Washington, again, going from the East Coast to the West Coast to take on the Chargers. Chargers lost to the Giants. Chargers also lost their 2 starting tackles. Joe Alt is out. I don't know how long he's out per se. Justin Herbert still did his thing, even though he threw a few interceptions. Washington Commanders, I think they're getting Jaden Daniels back. You can correct me below if he is or isn't coming back yet. I'm going with Washington in this one. I think Washington is going to give the Chargers a little fit. And, Chargers started off 3 and hot, maybe started feeling themselves a little bit. It's going to be interesting. And then you got the Sunday night game. This is the second Sunday night game where I was like, even going into the season, why would you make this the Sunday night game? You have the Patriots. I'll just boot my face on the microphone. You have the Patriots, who essentially are in the beginning of a rebuild. They destroyed the Carolina Panthers, taking on Buffalo, who destroyed the Saints. But at one point, people were like, oh, it was never anything there. I'm going with Buffalo, even with giving 7.5. They are wearing their rivalry jerseys, those like frosty white jerseys. I don't know why this is a Sunday night game. In all honesty, you look at the schedule, and I probably would have Tampa Bay, Seattle Sunday night. I would have Broncos, Philly Sunday night. I would have San Fran and Rams. That's a good one, but that's Thursday night. I would have the Broncos, Philly, or I'd have Tampa Bay, Seattle Sunday night. I don't know why they made that. But the Monday night game is actually interesting. You have the 2-2 Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Jaguars. Chiefs are given 3.5. I like the Chiefs. The Chiefs woke up. They woke up. All of a sudden, the Chiefs are doing their thing. So I like that one. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. If I picked for or against your team. If you think some of my picks are silly, some of my picks are stupid, let me know. And obviously, as you could see, where is it? Right here, you get free $20 on your first entry. So go check it out. Go grab yourself some. And obviously, you get 100% on your first as well, up to $100 matched if you use the promo code DDW. But other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow. Going to be previewing the Miami Dolphins taking on the Carolina Panthers. Can they make it 2 in a row? Then they face the Chargers. And if they beat the next 2 teams, they get back to 500. And whoa. I don't know what's going to happen. But comment below. Let me know what you guys think. And I will see you tomorrow. But like usual, stay classy. And fins up.